Good morning, everybody. I've got an echo going here, but this is David Wayne at American Independent Marketing. We're starting this webinar at 9 o'clock sharp. It looks like our echo is gone away, which is good. But we'll be starting here in just a couple of minutes, so hang in there, and we'll get started. Thank you. So once again, good morning, everybody. This is David Wayne with American Independent Marketing. We are starting this session on GTL's Advantage Plus program. We have been working with GTL for quite some time, mainly with a product called Critical Care, but we've also had the ability to market this Advantage Plus. And in the last couple of years, we've seen a huge uptick in the business with the Advantage Plus. Now, the exciting thing is we're getting close to AEP time, and this is where that plan really does make a big difference. Although it can be used all year round for various reasons, we really see a spike in the usage of this product. The exciting thing about it is we've got some new enhancements this year on this product, which I think will take this to even a bigger level, and we're really excited here. And again, the production just seems to take off when this product is used during AEP. Today I have Greg Esposito, the Western Director of Marketing at GTL, and I'm going to have him go through the product because he is really familiar with it and was involved in all the changes in it. So Greg, can you get started for us?
Absolutely. Thanks, David, and thanks everybody for joining me. It's absolutely a pleasure. Yeah, this is really a great product to work with, just as David mentioned, and we've had it for 9 years, made some great enhancements to it. And the fun part about it is if you're meeting with clients, especially senior clients, or even clients in the ages of 40 through 85, in most states, this product is something that they're very, very interested in. As David mentioned, we sell a lot of it. Even during AEP is when most of the sales come in, but it's available for sale all year round. So thanks for joining us. We're definitely going to give you the best hospital indemnity plan on the market, and we're going to make you more successful with regard to that income this year than last year, because this product itself, most of the agents that talk to their clients about it on a regular basis tell me that about 7 out of 10 people they talk to purchase it. So this is definitely a fun training to wrap your head around, and you'll be able to use it. Everything we do at GTL is about speed, whether it be contracting or turning your business around quickly. This product is no exception. So today we'll just have some fun, a brief intro to GTL, talk about the plan, and then I always like to consider myself a conduit from our successful agents who have been selling our products to you, passing along their sales ideas, cross-selling tips, what's working for them, and also share from the home office what people are buying, what we see on applications. So why don't we get started? Quick information about GTL. We've been around for 79 years. We have both life and health products. We work in every state with the exception of New York. So if you run across somebody who's not familiar with us, here's 3 things to jot down that are really good information so they get comfortable with GTL. Again, been around 79 years. We are in AM Best top tier. We were upgraded in both 2013 and 2014. We're currently B++, and we have 0 debt on our balance sheet. So very, very strong financially. When you work with GTL, expect to have instant access to just about anyone you need to speak to, whether it's a sales manager like myself, our sales support reps, an underwriter, anyone you need to talk to. When you call GTL, there's going to be a live person on the other end of the line. You'll talk to who you need to talk to in seconds. You can get business to us any way you like. If you're working with a paper application, you still have 3 ways to get it to us: via mail, via fax, right to GTL Underwriting, or you can even email it directly to GTL Underwriting. We also have an online portal, so you as the agent can complete 100% of the app for the client and get it to GTL electronically. How we work our business, especially with this one, electronic apps are instantly underwritten and issued. Our paper apps, we issue about 97% of them in 3 days or less. The rest of them are pretty much taken care of in the next day. So you could actually send an application to GTL on Monday, and with our commission cutoff being Wednesday at 5 p.m., you could still get that application issued and be paid on it the next day. So every Thursday, we send out commissions for anything that was issued the night prior by 5 p.m. We like doing webinars. Thrilled that David gave me a call to do this one. We like to keep them fun, packed with sales ideas and product info. So why don't we get started with exactly what this plan is? David mentioned that if you're working during AEP, annual election period, some things to know. First thing is, this product is filed and approved. It's a health plan. It's a hospital indemnity plan. So if you are going to meet with somebody for their MA appointment, for example, you definitely would need a scope of appointment form signed beforehand with that hospital indemnity plan box checked. So you could, in that situation, talk to them about their MA plan and also talk to them about GTL's Advantage Plus plan. Quick sales idea for you. The agents that do this, that go on an MA appointment and then talked about Advantage Plus, this is a way that they work into it. They could go over the MA plan, and when they get to that portion of the plan where they say, now when you, with this MA plan, you have a copay for every day you're in the hospital of, let's say, $250. Don't worry about that copay right now. Remind me when I get done with talking to you about this plan. Remind me, I'll show you how you can take care of covering that copay with a great plan from GTL. One of my Arizona agents kind of passed that along to me a couple weeks ago, and she added to it saying, if the client doesn't remember to ask me to tell them how to cover their copay, I usually take that as an idea where maybe I will set up an additional appointment form after my appointment, so because they may be a little bit overwhelmed with just the MA plan, or they may not be engaged enough to listen to another product. But if they do remind me at the end of the presentation, hey, tell me about that plan to cover my copays, then she knows the client's engaged and they're interested, and she'll go ahead and talk to them about it during that plan. So we do have agents who do it during the MA plan, and we also have a bunch of agents who just do their MA appointments, and then after AEP, they go back and talk to their clients about Advantage Plus. I'm sure you've read it on the screen already. We've had the product for 9 years. We continue to improve it. We've never increased the rates. Something else to know about the plan, we're very fast with regard to paying hospital indemnity claims. We pay them actually 5 days faster than our competition, and something very important for the agents. When you add this product to your portfolio, you are not adding a bunch of admin to your portfolio and your selling time too. We take care of dealing with clients with regard to any types of claims. We do not expect you to get involved with regard to claims. We like to handle that on a direct basis right with the policyholder. So from the get-go, a very broad sense, who would we talk to about Advantage Plus? Well, any clients that have copays, out-of-pocket expenses, let's say when they have a hospitalization event. Something else that's nice about the plan is this is a hospital indemnity plan. So whatever type of coverage that they sign up for with GTL, when they have a claim, we pay them that amount. We're not coordinating the claim coverage with what other type of health plan they may have. So if somebody signed up for, let's say, $400 for every day they're in the hospital with our plan, but their copay on their MA plan was only $250 per day, if they go into the hospital, we're going to send them $400 per day. We're not going to only send them the $250. We send them whatever they have with us set up for coverage. And they can use any additional money they have left over from taking care of copays on indirect items that you see on your screen, airfare, lodging, anything. So here's the way that the hospital indemnity plan kicks in, if you will. The base part of the plan is all about hospital confinement, and then we have some nice riders for them to choose from if they like. Ambulance, outpatient surgery, skilled nursing, dental vision, cancer treatments. Any of your clients who have copays for these types of situations, you want to think about talking to them about Advantage Plus. Let's just start with the base plan. We added a 3-day and a 6-day benefit period to our existing 10-day and 21-day benefit plan. Now, I'm just going to tell you right from the get-go, we very rarely see an application come in for a 21-day benefit period. What are those benefit periods? We're talking about 24-hour stays in the hospital. So the 10-day benefit period represents 10 24-hour periods in the hospital or 10 days in the hospital. What do they use this base plan for? Well, it could be anything that's a 24-hour stay or more. Could be a scheduled surgery, heart surgery, tumor surgery for cancer, doesn't matter. Also, it could be something sudden. Maybe the person had a heart attack at home, they go to the hospital, they're admitted for 24 hours or more, this plan kicks in. Other things, unfortunately, they're in a car accident, rushed to the hospital, they're admitted for 24 hours or more. Boy, this plan is kicked in for them. So which base plan that you see above is the right one for them? Well, it kind of depends based upon what type of main health insurance plan they have. What's their copay per day? How many days are they responsible for? GTL, we've had this plan for 9 years. Our experience shows the 10-day plan is still the best plan to offer, but we've offered that 3-day plan, the 6-day plan, just in case your clients are in a little bit more of a tighter budget situation, or maybe the exact plan that they're choosing for their primary health care plan, really maybe it has a lot of the days covered and they don't need 10 days. Now from there, they can choose anywhere from $100 to $600 per day for every day they're in the hospital, and they choose it in 10-day increments. So I know a lot of you guys are shaking your head right now, and you're saying, I get it. So my person has a plan. They're responsible for a couple $100 every day they're in the hospital with that plan. I can get them the Advantage Plus plan, maybe the 10-day benefit period, match that 200-day copay with the benefit from GTL, and now when they go in the hospital, even though they owe the copay, they're going to get that money from GTL to take care of it, and all for a very small amount on a monthly basis. So that's what this plan is all about, and that's how it works. The other thing that's nice about it is when you choose a plan, like a 10-day benefit period, you don't just get 10 days and you're done. These benefit periods, they restore over and over again over the life of the policy. So here's an example. I've got a 10-day benefit period. I wake up one day, I feel terrible, so I go to the hospital. It's something serious, they admit me, and I'm there for 5 days. So now I've used 5 days of my 10-day benefit period. So let's say I come home from the hospital, and the next 60 days I do not go back to the hospital. Well, when I wake up on that 61st morning, I have a brand new 10-day benefit period to work with for anything that happens in the future. And this plan restores over and over an unlimited amount of time, so you always have this new benefit period after 60 days of not being in the hospital. Here's a different situation. Let's stick with that same 10-day benefit period. I'm in the hospital 5 days. I go home, but before 60 days are up, I head back into the hospital. Well, now I've used 5 of my 10. I go back in for another 5. I've used all of my 10 days. After 60 days of not being in the hospital, I get a brand new 10-day benefit period to work with. So you see they restore over and over again. It works the same way for the 3-day, the 6-day, the 10-day, the 21-day. After you've been out of the hospital for 60 days, you get a new benefit period to work with. A couple benefits that come with the base plan. There's the emergency room benefit. Very specific on this one. This one would be going to the emergency room due to an injury. But just because you go to the ER because of an injury doesn't mean you get the 150. You also have to be admitted after going into the ER. So if I fell down the stairs and broke my leg so badly that they not only patched me up, but they admitted me, wanted to watch me for a day, I would get both my day one benefit for the base plan, and I'd also get the 150 ER benefit. If I fell down the stairs and they broke my leg, they patched me up and sent me home, I would not get the 150 ER benefit. I'm sure you've read ahead a little bit. You see there's a mental health benefit up to 7 days of $175 per day if you go to a mental health facility.
Hey, Greg.
So if you're, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to make a point to everybody that's listening to this webinar is when you're doing webinars like this, there's a lot of information going on out there, and it's a lot to take in. And one of the things that I've been actually picking up myself on this webinar is Greg is actually pointing out where the strong points are with this plan and which plans you should be looking at mainly. So keep notes on that. And then I also noticed that most of you guys are watching this on your computers and are not hooked up to the phone. So if you do have a question, you're able to type in the question. We'll either answer them immediately, or at the end we'll repeat the question, and then Greg will be able to answer them. So please take notes really dubious, and make sure that you pay attention to when Greg says that this is what they see mostly come in through GTL, because it really is going to set you down a path of already using this plan and knowing what to use out of the plan because of their experience all these years over the 9 years. Sorry about that, Greg.
No problem. Great. Here's a great example of a typical application that comes in and how you can explain it to a prospect so that he really gets an idea of how the plan works. So we've got a guy named Brian here. He's 65 years old, and I'm going to talk to Brian like I'm the sales agent and explain to him how the product works. See? So Brian, you've got a great MA plan here. When you go into the hospital, you'll be responsible for $250 for every day that you're in the hospital. Now with GTL's Advantage Plus Hospital Indemnity plan, this plan is set up to take care of that copay. So if we selected a 10-day benefit period for you, match that $250 copay you have for when you go in the hospital for $25.54 a month, this is what's going to happen if you have a 5-day hospital stay. You're going to be responsible for $1,250 out of your bank account, but since you have the Advantage Plus plan, they will send you $1,250. You've got that copay covered. So $25.54 a month, now you don't have to worry about taking care of that copay. That works out really well. And here's some other details for agents, but closers to the client's ears, music to their ears, if you will. This plan's available from ages 40 through 85 in most states. And the nice thing is once you have it, you can not only keep it, but the benefits never reduce as you get older. The other thing that's great, if you are going to be meeting with any clients who are 64.5 to 65.5, this is guarantee issue. I'm going to throw something out there which makes this even more important. There's a question on the application that asks if people, for example, are insulin-dependent diabetic or have COPD, emphysema, dementia, stuff like that. Well, they would not be able to get this plan, but the guarantee issue folks in this age range here, they don't have to answer those questions. So if you have clients with those types of situations, they would actually be able to get the policy in this guarantee issue window. So really important to use that to their advantage and talk to them about getting the GTL plan.
And Greg, is that year-round?
Yes, it's year-round.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So there's no annual policy fee with this plan. What we do is there's a one-time $20 application fee. If we have 2 applicants on one application, happens all the time, we waive that second $20 application fee. So when you're signing up, a husband and spouse, it's a total of $20 max. This is what they love about the plan. Whatever age and rate they purchase it at, it stays the same as they get older. So they're not paying more every year. Now, we don't guarantee those rates, but we've never increased them in the 9 years of the product. We have no intention of doing so. So everyone who's ever purchased this plan is still paying the same rate as when they started, even though they're much older. Again, we pay those benefits directly to the policyholder. We're not coordinating coverage. So, whatever we owe them for every day they're in the hospital or a rider they use, we pay them regardless of what their actual copay is. If you have any clients who've gone into the hospital and even stayed there more than 24 hours and they get coded to observation, well, that's a situation you're not going to have to worry about with regard to this plan. What we do is anyone who goes into the hospital for 24 hours or more, their base plan kicks in. So at GTL, we don't care if they're coded to observation or inpatient. As long as they're there 24 hours or more, they're going to get 100% of that daily benefit level. So if they sign up for 10-day benefit, $250 per day, and they go in the hospital for a day and they're coded to observation, they're getting their $250. Here's a little discussion starter. So I always think the best way to start talking to clients about the hospital indemnity plan is just to know what plan they have and why they have it. So here we have a lady who's saying, you know, I've got a zero to low premium plan because I can't afford to pay a couple $100 a month for my insurance. So you can respond saying, well, that's great. I'm glad that plan works for you. Now, let me ask you, if you went into the hospital for a few days, would it really put a crimp in your budget if you had to take $1,000 or $1,400 out of your bank account? In most cases, she's going to say, yeah, I really live on a tight budget. So now you can come back and say, well, that's great. If you can give me 10 or 15 minutes of your time, let me show you how a plan from GTL can take away that big copay worry for a small amount per month. Great way to get into that person's house to talk to them. And the other thing is, I'm sure this lady has a lot of other friends that are interested in a plan like this and in the same situation. So imagine she buys this plan and then she's talking to her friends later that night and she's saying, you know what, I met with my agent and I no longer have to worry about my copays when I go in the hospital. You say, what do you mean? And what's their name and what's their phone number? So you get a nice referral base generated from this plan. Again, same question. What would you rather do? Pay a chunk out of your bank account unexpectedly for going into the hospital for a few days, or maybe pay GTL a small amount per month? The sales idea on the bottom comes to me from a salesperson in Utah who's been selling this plan for a long time, has a lot of clients in the senior market, and basically just said to me, he goes, you know, a lot of my clients I know can more than afford to take $1,200 out of their bank account if they had to. But the amazing thing is they still buy the Advantage Plus plan. They just don't want to have to worry about it. So if you have clients who have copays, regardless of their financial situation, you still might want to talk to them about Advantage Plus. You may be surprised that they're still interested in it. This is a trend we've seen. So we got Brian on again. This is about 3-4 years we've been seeing this. So he still has the $250 copay, but he got the Advantage Plus plan for more than his copay. This one's set up for $300 per day, even though his copay is $250. It's only about $5 and change more per month. And as we work through this example of a 5-day hospitalization event, he's getting $1,500 from GTL, even though he only owes $1,250. So why is this a good idea? Well, the first thing is, what's his copay going to be next year on his MA plan? We don't know. If it goes up, now he doesn't have enough Advantage Plus coverage. So if you get him a little bit more now, he's got the coverage. He's also locking in the rate at his current age. Another reason is when somebody goes to the hospital, they're going to come home, they're going to go to Walgreens, CVS, or Rite Aid. They're going to spend a little bit of money on some incidentals that may not be covered under their main health care plan. So if you've got a little bit of extra money coming from GTL, then you have a copay for, you can use it for that. Here's a great sales idea that agents have been using. So let's take somebody, same situation. They have $250 copay on their main health care plan. Let's give them a choice. Right in front of them, let's match their copay for an example of a good policy from GTL, $25.54 a month for a 65-year-old, 10-day benefit period. How about let's add the ambulance rider? You can see it's only a couple dollars more per month. And for the best, we're going to do what we just saw Brian did, add a little bit more of a copay, so $300. Keep that ambulance rider. So now they're looking at this and they're saying, well, let's see, for a couple dollars more, I can add the ambulance rider, and I can get more than I actually need, that I have a copay for a couple dollars more. So in most instances, they're going to pick the better. Maybe the best and then the good. But the nice thing about the good, better, best, I know all of you guys and ladies on the call know this. When you ask them which one they like best, any answer they give you is a sale for you. So a great way to show them how inexpensive the plan is, how inexpensive it is to add to it. Okay, so this is the fun part, and this is where I really need some of your undivided attention, because I need you to pick out a color. And what I'm going to show you now is, this is an example of what happens when we have to go to get every individual state's approval for our product, and then also when we're in the middle of upgrading the product. We have to go back to the state and ask for their approval. So the states that are in the purple, if you're working in the purple state, they approved our Advantage Plus product back in 2006. When we upgraded the product in 2015, they did not approve that upgrade because of some state-specific laws they have. So if you're in a purple state, I'm going to go over what riders are available. If you're in a blue state, they actually did approve our 2014 upgrades. And if you're in a green state, not only did they approve the 2014 upgrades, but we're going to show you the new 2016 upgrades that are already available to you. So I'm going to work through them, so just know your color, and you'll know exactly what you have to work with. And you'll see on the bottom of your screen, Georgia, Maine, South Carolina, and Tennessee. We're going to be turning those states green in just a week or two. So more and more states are turning green as we go, and that's just all part of the process of getting states to approve our new product upgrades. Okay, so if you were in purple, the ambulance rider is still very important to add the application. It's on about 50% of the applications. Gives your clients $200 if they take an ambulance to go to the hospital and become admitted. What did we do in 2014? So for the blue states and the green states, we upgraded that rider. So if you're in a blue or green state and your client takes the ambulance to go to the hospital, even if they are not admitted, they're going to get the $200. That's the difference in the upgrade. We also added, if they go to the hospital via ambulance and then the next day or later take another ambulance, maybe to go to a skilled nursing facility, for example, they're going to get another $200. So that's the upgrade for the blue states, and the green states have that. The purple states, just remember, you'd have to be admitted to get your $200 for the ambulance rider. Now, it doesn't matter what color you are, purple, blue, or green, the lump sum hospital rider gives you an additional $250, $500, or $750 for the first day you're in the hospital. Now, I'm going to be straight honest with you here. Very rarely used anymore. Used to be used a lot in the past, but what we see now is that client like Brian buying a little bit more of the base plan than he currently has a copay for, as opposed to purchasing this rider. Outpatient surgery rider, the nice thing about this is for surgical procedures done at outpatient surgical facilities. So they're not going to the hospital, they're going to these surgical facilities. Key to know that it's for surgeries. It's not for MRIs or CT scans done at these facilities. It's for actual surgical procedures. When you look at the pricing of this, you have to keep in mind that you can use this over and over again, up to 2 times per calendar year. I would say it's on about 14%, 15% of the apps we get. The ambulance rider is the key rider to make sure that's on there. Now, if you're in a purple state, we have a skilled nursing rider. So if you go into the hospital for at least 3 days consecutively and then are moved to a skilled nursing facility, if you're in there for a while, if you're in there to day 21, you start getting $120 from GTL. Now, if you are in a blue state or a green state, that changes a little bit. You still need the 3 days in the hospital first, but then day 1 in the skilled nursing facility, you'll start getting either $100, $150, or $200, depending upon what you choose when you get your policy. So you start getting that day 1 instead of waiting to day 21. If you're in a purple state, the lump sum cancer rider we have available for you is a one-time $2,500 to $10,000 lump sum, and that is for the types of invasive spreading types of cancers we all dread getting. If you're in the blue state, you've got a lot better coverage to deal with regard to the cancer coverage. It's actually our latest CHS Protection Plus product. You can apply for it on the same application with Advantage Plus. Not only does it cover the spreading invasive types of cancers that we just talked about, it also has a cancer in situ benefit, which is a cancerous tumor that's really not spreading, but it needs to come out. And we also have a recurrence benefit, meaning you can get that lump sum paid over to you a second time if you were to be diagnosed a second time. And I'll show you a little bit more on that later. Okay, so with no further ado, let's talk about some of the new riders we've added. So if you're in a green state, these are already up and running for you. Short stay rider. we looked at our claims that we had over the past few years, and we found that there were quite a bit of them that we couldn't pay because the client wasn't quite in the hospital 24 hours. So what we did is we created a short stay rider. So if they go to the hospital and they're there for up to 12 hours, 12 hours up to 24 hours, they're going to get their daily benefit. So I'll show you how this works. Typical example. Person goes into the hospital at night, 8 p.m. They're there overnight. They get checked out early in the next morning. They're there 12 hours, but not quite 24. Well, that used to be a denied claim, but now if they have the short stay rider, they're going to get the full daily benefit of their policy. You can see that we included this coverage with the 3-day and the 6-day plan. You can add it as a rider for the 10-day and 21. The great news on it is if you have the 10-day plan, the cost of adding the short stay rider is less than $1 a month. So I think it's like 75 cents, 85 cents and change. So it really is a great rider to make sure is on the policy. So if you're in a green state, you have even better cancer coverage than I just spoke to you about. So we've got $2,500 to $20,000. We expanded that coverage range for you. This is for the lump sum for the very invasive spreading types of cancers that we don't want to get. We still have that cancer in situ benefit on there for the tumor that is not spreading but needs to come out. And the big news is we added basal cell and squamous cell skin cancer coverage. So it's a $500 benefit, and you can use it more than once. You can use it up to 3 times over the life of the policy. So when I'm on the road doing trainings, that's usually when I talk about the cancer rider, someone's hand goes up and they go, does it cover skin cancer? Well, now I can say it does. So it's a nice bell and whistle to add. I don't know anyone else who has it on the hospital indemnity plan. And then we still have the availability to add that recurrence benefit rider. So they can get paid that lump sum more than once if they are diagnosed for a second time. We're also adding a dental vision rider. Up to $400, $800, or $1,200 of an annual benefit. Let's take a peek and see how that works. Now, the first thing to know about GTL is we tried to differentiate ourselves from the typical dental vision coverage a little bit. And the first thing that we did is we decided to pay 80% of actual charges, not reasonable and customary. So that's the first thing. Whatever doctor you go to, it's 80% of actual charges. Now, the first year you have this plan, it's limited to 50% of the maximum benefit you choose. So really what's happening here, the first year, the most you can get is $200 or $400 or $600. Now, once you hit month 13 or year 2, as we call it, you still have that $100 deductible, but now you're getting 80% of actual charges all the way up to 100% of the maximum benefit level. So you can get your $400, your $800, or your $1,200 a year. What we do with regard to preventative is we do not deal with that $100 deductible. We don't deal with that. If it's preventative, if you're going to get your eyes checked or your dental exam, you're getting $75 or $50 from GTL, that $100 deductible doesn't apply. As you start using this plan, you can use it for more things. Once you have it for 6 months, you can start using it for fillings, root canals, $200 for prescription eyewear, contacts. Again, 80% of actual charges. After 12 months, more is added. You can start using it for bridges, crowns, dentures. The other thing here is just a kind of a caveat I like to point out. If you need to get those bridges or dentures repaired or replaced due to injury, then that 12-month wait does not apply. If you have anyone that has an Advantage Plus policy already, and you want to take a little bit of time and just call them up and tell them about the new dental vision rider, if they want to add it to the policy, they can do it very easily. They could just call GTL customer service and add it. Or we have a little form that if you want to be part of the process and check the box and send it to them to sign, we have that form too on the right. But either way works. And when you're doing it for somebody that already has a GTL policy, it's guarantee issue. So it's a fun phone call. They add it to the policy, they're approved. All right, so let's take a look and see what this Advantage Plus plan costs and some typical applications that we would get. So we're looking at a 65-year-old, And what I try to do here is show some typical examples of what we would see. So somebody who's selecting the 3-day benefit plan, they're usually only responsible for the first 3 days they're in the hospital, but they usually have a higher copay. So I'm quoting here a 65-year-old with $350 daily benefit with the 3-day benefit plan. That short stay riders included, $22.84 per month. Now the 6-day benefit period, $250 per day, that's typical. With the short stay rider included, $22.58. So the 10-day benefit plan, that's the one that we think is still the best one to work with clients. Add that short stay rider in there, 10-day benefit period, $250 per day, only $26.40 per month. And don't worry about that 21-day benefit period. Nobody sells that. Very rarely do we see somebody come in with a 21-day benefit period application. Let's add the ambulance rider, very inexpensive. So now the monthly premiums, $30 and change and under for the 3 plans that people would be selling. If we added some cancer coverage, now, we're getting close to $50 a month with all the plans. This is probably a fully loaded application for most people purchasing this plan. If I added the skilled nursing rider, you can see it starts getting up into the 60s. So generally, we don't see this whole thing. We may see the person with this type of skilled nursing coverage drop the cancer coverage so that it still stays in that $50 a month area. And if you're wondering what the dental vision cost, here's a 65-year-old with the $800 in the maximum annual benefit amount. If you're wondering with regard to how we do commissions for adding the dental vision rider, keep in mind whatever you're getting paid for selling the Advantage Plus base plan, that's your rate for selling the dental vision rider. So if you're just adding that, that would be the same rate as that you were getting to sell the main plan itself. And it's guarantee issue for people who have the plan already. Here's another great sales idea for you. How long is the average hospital stay for a 65 to 75-year-old? It's actually 5.6 days. So of those people that go into the hospital and stay there, how many are going to return the same year? Well, 33%. So this is an average hospital stay. Let's take a look and see what a less than average hospital stay can cost somebody. Here's a $200 ambulance copay and 1 day in the hospital. So if you don't have Advantage Plus, they're looking at $450 out of their bank account. What's it cost to have a policy to cover this for the whole year? $450 if you don't have the policy, or you could get this coverage that I just spoke to you about, $344 on an annual premium. So if you go into the hospital 1 day and you take an ambulance to get there, you're in better shape financially if you have the plan from GTL. Underwriting, very simple. No MIB, no RX check, no phone interviews. If they answer the application questions no, they get the coverage. The guarantee issue, they do not have to answer the application questions. Big caveat here, the cancer coverage is not guarantee issue. So if they want to add the cancer rider or the product, they have to answer the cancer questions. We do have a 6-month pre-ex on the plan. Think of it very simply. Let's say that David came to my house today and sold me the Advantage Plus policy today. Anything that I went to the doctor for in the last 6 months that he said, Greg, you need to go schedule a surgery for this, or you've been diagnosed with this or that, that's pre-existing. So if I bought the policy today from David and it was issued, anything I turned in for a claim in the next 6 months related to that pre-existing condition is not going to be covered. Keep in mind, though, the guarantee issue window is that pre-existing does apply to the guarantee issue folks. But here's a great conversation with them. Let's just say that I was insulin dependent, diabetic, and I'm 65 years old. David could say this to me when he came to talk to me. He could say, Greg, we have this great plan from GTL, and I know you're insulin dependent, but you know what? There's a year with this plan where you can actually get this coverage, and you won't be able to get it other than 64.5 to 65.5 years of age. But if you buy the plan from GTL, just know that if you go into the hospital 6 months, for 6 months when you've had the policy, that's not going to be covered if you go in there for anything related to your diabetes. But once you've had the policy for 6 months, If you go into the hospital and it's related to your diabetes, that is covered. So the people who are in the guarantee issue window, they really have a great opportunity here. So don't miss out on that for them. Talk to them about getting the plan. They can use the policy for anything that's not pre-X right away, but their pre-existing conditions would become coverable after 6 months, even insulin-dependent diabetes stays. If they want to increase benefits, no big deal. Down the road, they can just grab another application from you. You just check increase of benefits, add what they want to add, and answer all of the questions. What we'll do is we'll issue them a second policy for their increase in coverage. We do not charge that $20 application fee whenever they're increasing coverage. Software is very easy to download. You just go to the GTL website, click on Agent, and then download software, and then download Advantage Plus. It'll put it right on your desktop. If you're in a green state, you'll love it. Pick the orange icon, and you'll have all the new riders, all the new base plans available for you to quote. Here's a sample application for a guaranteed issue applicant who does not want cancer coverage. You just put a big X through all the questions, answer the replacement question, you're done, they get the coverage. If they want hospital indemnity coverage and they want the cancer coverage, remember cancer's not guarantee issued, so they just have to answer the cancer questions, the replacement question, and they're good. I'll give you a quick reason why knowing how to use the agent portal may be in your future, and you don't have to use it right away, but you may meet with somebody, talk to them about Advantage Plus in person, and they're either on the fence, just not sure. Then you call them a little bit later, and they say, yeah, you know what, I thought about it, I want to get that coverage. Well, what if they live 30 minutes or an hour away? Well, you could sign up on the agent portal, get them all set up for it from your home, as opposed to having to go all the way out there again. So that's one of the reasons why, even if you're not like, I want to do everything high tech, this agent portal may be a situation for you to use. And if you ever have questions on how to use it, we've got a great 10-minute demo you can watch on how to use it. Just call sales support for the link. The only thing that I do want to tell you about the agent portal at this juncture is, because of the fact that it's an online process and we do not gather the agent or the client's signature at all, we need to do something. So they pick up the phone, they do a 3-minute verification call, no health questions, we're just verifying their identity and that they want to purchase the coverage, and then you just submit the application online and we're done. So paper, no verification call, online application, verification call, only 3 minutes long, real easy for them, and it's with a live person. So they got somebody to ask them a couple questions. It's not a recorded kind of situation. Last thing we'll talk about is just claims. How does it work? I only ask that the agents that sell this plan do one thing for us. Just tell the client, when you go into the hospital and you come home, call GTL's customer service. They will be happy to mail you, fax you, email you the short claim form. And then they'll work with you from there. It's a very short, easy process. Here's the whole claim form. It's brand new. It's even shorter than before. The page in the back is just a checklist. So once they read it, they're going to know what to do and where to send the information. So that's done. The form closest to you is the HIPAA form. They put their policy number on it, their name, they sign it, they date it. That's done. Now this is just the claim form they fill out, where they're just putting down their policy number, their name, address, when they went in the hospital, how long they were there. The only other thing that comes in with that is an itemized bill. Now the great thing about the HIPAA form is once we have it, we can call and get their bill for them. If they're at all intimidated by the process of trying to get an itemized bill, or they're confused about which one they need, that's no big deal. Just once they get the claim form into us with the signed HIPAA form, we can reach out to the hospital and get it for them. That's what we're here for. That's why our average turnaround time is actually down to 8 days. So the process works very good. It's very clean. Everyone's loving the new claim form since we removed one of the pages from it and made the fonts even bigger so everyone can read it. It's great. And if you're wondering how GTL knows about what's pre-X, what's not, if somebody's trying to pull the wool over our eyes, it's real simple. Imagine doing something for 9 years and doing it a few 100,000 times. We have a really good idea of knowing what's a red flag and what is not. So we can use that HIPAA form to take a peek at their medical records. Say, for example, if I bought the policy and then a month later turned in a claim for 3 days in the hospital for a left hip replacement, I'm pretty sure GTL is going to check to see if I knew about that right before I bought my policy. But at other things, we know not to even bother looking, just pay that claim. And even if we do have to check the medical records, for the most part, we get them in a day or two. So we're not even looking at a big extension of the process, and we do it all transparently so the client doesn't have to worry about getting medical records. We do that directly through Paramed. Last thing I'll mention is policy delivery. We made a great change. So far, agents have been liking it. They're not spending their time calling GTL, asking us to reprint a new policy for the client, and they're not spending a lot of time trying to explain to the client when they're looking through their policy where they can find their benefits or this or that. So when we issue a policy, what we do is we send them a letter, congratulations, welcome letter. We send them, what you see in the middle is a summary of benefits, 1 page. They can just take a look at it, see exactly what coverage they have, what riders they have, how much they get per day when they're in the hospital, and then they get their health card. If they want a printed policy, they can just call GTL customer service and we'll mail it to them. No problem, no charge. If you're an agent that likes to deliver, no problem. When you fill out the application, just check deliver to the agent as opposed to the insured. We will mail you their welcome letter, summary of benefits, an ID card, and you can deliver that to them. So either way works out good. Either way we'll make sure the client gets what they want, how they want it. So here we are at the end of the day. We've got a great plan to help cover those copays. David mentioned we sell the most of it during AEP, but we do have some agents who just spend the rest of their year selling the plan and really generating a ton of referrals. Here's our number for sales support. Most of our reps have actually been here over 15 years. So they can pretty much a one-stop shop answer your questions for you. But if you do need to speak to an underwriter or somebody else, you can definitely talk to them in seconds. So that's what we have so far with regard to the plan. And we can open it up for questions or however you want to handle it, David.
All right. Well, thanks, Greg. And there's a couple of comments that I want, and we are going to open. Like I said earlier, most of you are listening to this through your computer, and you can type in further questions. I've got a few in front of me that I'm going to repeat and have Greg answer. But there's a couple of comments before I do that. And first and foremost, AIM works with a lot of carriers out there. And for all of you that have worked with us for several years and have experienced it, I got to say right out of the chute that working with GTL has been absolute pleasure. They're not a carrier that is controlled by stockholders like some of the carriers that we run with. They are personal. They're easy to contact, to work with. It is a real joy to work with a carrier that listens to you and actually helps work with you versus it is their way and the only way. So keep in mind when you're working with a company like GTL, you have the ability to work with a carrier that actually cares and listens. And I think that's important in this marketplace that we run into these carriers out there that just dictate what it's going to be. Also wanted to make a point.
That's true, David. Actually all of these upgrades and stuff that we talked about are all just ideas that came from our agents. Not the brainchild of us sitting here behind our desks. So.
Yeah, and it's a product that's been out there that just continues to get better and better. There are some points on the product that I want to mention, but there's some things like this health plan, the affordable health plans and the Obamacare plans, those bronze plans, there's a lot of out-of-pocket costs. This product can be used for that situation. Some people think it's a Med Advantage because of the way it's named, or people think about writing this thing during AEP. Yeah, you can do all that, but I want you to know that you can make sales on this all year round in several different areas. The point that Greg covered on observation, there are other products out there that just won't cover observation like this, a hospital indemnity. That is a huge thing that's popped up in the very recent here, that observation. A lot of these hospital stays are being coded as observation, and GTL is paying for that. That's huge. That can make a difference of carrying an insurance plan and not getting paid on something versus carrying an insurance plan and getting paid on. The guaranteed issue, again, having that ability to work with a group of people. If you're working in the Medicare supplement, the Med Advantage world, you're dealing with these people already. They have health issues. You're giving you an advantage to be able to get the sale. Year around, as I said, you'll be able to do it. Now, here's a question that I wrote down that I need to know. The benefits, Greg, are they taxed that the clients receive?
No, there's no tax on them.
Okay, good. I also want to mention that this is not approved in California. We don't know if it will be down the road. California's got some strange rules and regs, and they're real difficult to work with the insurance department, but hopefully someday we will be able to have it available in California. And I don't know if you have any comments on that, Greg?
You know, I would not anticipate it in California. However, I will tell you that we are anticipating opening back up in Florida again very soon. So we'll keep your eyes and ears open for that.
Okay. Someone had a question on list bill.
Mm-hmm.
Can this be
we
paid
do that
on?
for Sure, we do that for 4 or more lives. There's a couple, I think there's 1 or 2 additional quick forms that come in with the application, and we can always email the PDFs for those too. But sure, 4 or more lives, we'll do that.
Okay, great. Here's a great question that I have no clue on this one. Will this policy pay for emergency services outside the U.S., hospital, like someone getting hospitalized overnight out of the U.S.?
Great question. It's just for the United States, nothing international.
Okay, and I know that we've answered a bunch of questions through typing in the answers on that. We've opened up, and again, there's not very many people on the phone, but the people that are on the phone, is there any questions?
I'd like to ask a question. I know that, did it on the webinar. There's no dental network?
No dental network. You're going to your dentist or your, ophthalmologist for the eye exam.
Okay. There was an email yesterday or the day before on the iApp, or an app for your iPad. But can you take an application using a laptop? Is there software, or is there a link to do that where you can take it from a laptop?
Sure. So all you need to do with regard to using your PC, your laptop, is just go to the GTL website, and then you just click on to log into the GTL agent portal. And the first time you log in there, you're going to put in your agent code, your GTL agent code for both the login and the password, and then it'll prompt you to change your password. And from there, that's where you log in to enter an application online for the client. Now, we do have an iPad application for this product, and I usually talk about it during the presentation, but right now we're adding the new plans to it, and also actually doing a full upgrade of the software, so that once we launch this, what we'll be able to easily do after that is add all the other GTL products onto it, so that we can have all of our products on the iPad. That's coming down the road, but we expect to have that iPad app for the Advantage Plus updated for use within the next couple weeks. So I didn't talk about it too much today or at all, but we do actually have an iPad app. And if you're wondering about if you have an Android tablet, we don't have an application for that per se, but you could go to your internet browser on your Android tablet and log into the GTL agent portal and do the online app through that.
Okay. Do you have to see them in person, or can you do this over the phone?
You can absolutely do it in person. We have some nice brochures that are nice leave-behind pieces if you're meeting with them or sending to them. Just make sure that you give them the brochure and also the outline of coverage so they can take a peek at that. And we have a lot of agents who will talk to their clients about this over the phone and then use the the agent portal to submit the app, and then again those clients who are doing the e-app only, they would pick up the phone and do about a 3-minute verification call.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Greg, this is Dave Whalen. We had another question posed here that I just wanted to jump in. Are agents actively using this during the ACA open enrollment as well?
Are they selling this plan during
the open enrollment
AEP?
for Obamacare? Yeah,
absolutely. When we launched this plan 9 years ago, it only started at age 64.5 and then went to 85, and it's kind of been at least 5 years since we've lowered it to 40. And we didn't get a lot of traction with it underage, but since the Obamacare has come out, we've seen a lot more traction with it. I'm not going to tell you it's gangbusters with it, but we've definitely seen a nice increase with it, and I think that's only going to continue.
Okay, thank you, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions out there? Okay, sounds like we've got it. There's a couple more little statements here, and we're going to let you all go. We're very excited working with this product and some of the other products, and that's a point that needs to be pointed out. This is a great product with GTL, but they have several. They got a whole portfolio of products. They're very large in the cancer sales, and our critical care plan that we work with them very closely with has been very, very popular. So if you're working with this product and want to look at the other products, you certainly should. It's exciting for us because we've got a gentleman that works with us that runs anywhere from 1 to number 2 in the country with GTL. So we know that this product is absolutely a win-win situation along with some of the other portfolios. Greg, I can't thank you enough for doing this presentation. I want to mention one more thing is that we're going to try to do this before AEP starts up again just to cover it and make sure people understand. So I'll work with Greg and we'll come out and do it again.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's absolutely my pleasure. It's kind of fun because you're talking about a product that the agents that tune in, they're going to have a lot of opportunities to sell. It's not like some of these webinars you go to where you're going to run maybe one person a year who you'd offer that product to. So this is a really good closer, high percentage closer, and they also stick on the books for a very, very long time. So persistency-wise, building your book, getting those commissions, renewal commissions works great.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks, everyone, for attending. We'll keep your eyes open for the next webinar. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.